Okay, today I'm gonna talk about async and await. So async await as a syntax sugar of promise, which is used to solve async operations and callback hell. Async ensure a promise object is returned. Return value. Async function for 1 turn 1, so log for 1 promise fulfilled, number 1, right? Result is number 1. Okay. Return a promise async function for 2 turn promise resolve 1. For 2 promise fulfilled, number 1. Turn a promise async function for 3 new promise resolve reject resolve 1, so for 3 fulfilled, number 1. Return data sync function for return data for data. So fulfill for data, right? Turn data from async operations, async function for 5, set timeout function return full 5 data 1 second, so log full 5 right here. You can see it is undefined. Why? Because this is an async function, right? So this function will execute before this async function. So in default, functions like for example full file without any return value, it will be it will return a undefined, right, in default. So as you can see here, so it is undefined, right? So how could we solve this? This is extremely important. This part is extremely important. So how do we solve this? ABCDEF. Return data from async operation by promise, right? So we want to get the data inside of async operations. So we need to wrap it with a promise object. Function f6 turn new promise resolve reject set time out resolve f6 data. Set 1 second. You need to return a promise object. Now I could do console log f6 promise fulfilled f6 data, right? So yeah, this is the way we use it. Await get value returned from async operations. So function basic usage function f7 and return new promise resolve reject set time out return f7 data 1 second. So async function f8 let result equal to await f7 and console log res f8. 71. Basic usage. Oh, sorry, it's not return here. Should be resolve. f7 data, as you can see here. Line number 61, right? And this is the basic usage of async and await. You just use await instead of async. Besides that, await cannot be used outside of async function. Suppose we have a function f9. Let rest await f7 return value from from async operation. Rest. As you can see here, right? Cannot use keyword we outside async function. All right. So just try to avoid that. Error handling. Handle error with try catch. So suppose I have function f9 new promise f9 data 10 f9 So suppose we change it like reject. Now there is an error here, right? It's phone data. So normally we can do like try catch. So as you can see here, it's full 9 data, right? Because we pass the error message right here, this is full 9 data, right? So now we use try catch and finally return full 9 data. And there's another way we can handle this. Handle error by promise.catch. So suppose is for 11 twice 11, and finally we call twice, right? So we don't use try catch right here because full 11 return a promise eventually, right? So we can use catch method error message, and we just code error handler ourselves, right? So full 11, right, data, right? Yeah. Okay. So result is on defend, right? So yeah, this is two. These are two ways of error handling in async and await. So for we solve callback hell. Okay. So I have already make a customize because we have just rewrite this Ajax function again. So I just put this thing into a module, right? It is a custom module which is simply a Ajax function when it export this default, right? Okay, so so first we just import, because we import default, we don't use the curly bracket. Custom, right? So we have Ajax function. So we custom we code async function ourselves, right? Request URL. In this request, we do Ajax URL result. We put the result into a new promise resolve reject, and we resolve this result, right? So again, we use this request function in async because the request function is async operation, right? So get data, let res1 equal to await request static 19 callback hell js, and then we just print this result 1 get data. One, 2, 4, 124 it says on defend. So 124, this part it is on defend. Why? same problem as we talk about. We talk about. You cannot just put the async operations inside this function. It will never reach the return value, right? So what should we do? We should return new promise. We should use promise to wrap the async operations. Ajax URL and res resolve. Uh, 120. Sorry, res. Okay. 124 right here, right? So we can also do 3, 2, 3, B, C, M A, M B, M C, right? As you can see it here, begin get data function end. Begin get data function end. So with by using async and await, you can just handle asynchronous operations in a synchronous way, just like this. You may not realize this even async operations, right? So we just solve the callback hell by using this on top of promise. This is a more decent way to solve the callback hell. Yeah. So this is pretty much about today, and this is pretty much about async and await.